Sign in. NFL. Scores, schedule, news, standings, power rankings, stats, teams, players, 2025 NFL Draft. Odds. Football 301. Inside coverage. Game channel. Playoff bracket. Injuries. Advertisement. Trending. NFL winners and losers. Packers Cowboys shootout ends in tie. MLB playoff predictions. Europe retains Ryder Cup. Mercury reach WNBA Finals. 49ers, Brock Purdy, commit a comedy of errors in their loss to the Jaguars. Story by Kyle Posey. Monday, September 29, 2025, 4:18 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time +5. 32. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan got Christian McCaffrey involved early and often on the first drive with 6 touches. The ground game looked good early. Brock Purdy began the drive with an 18-yard pass to Kyle Juszczyk. However, a 13-play drive stalled in the red zone, and the Niners had to settle for a field goal. Eddie Pinheiro's kickoff was headed out of bounds, but the Jaguars rookie returner caught it and then ran out of bounds, costing his team roughly 33 yards of field position. Advertisement. The defense had a chance to make its first interception of the season after Marcus Sigel tipped a pass in the air. Fred Warner, of all people, was unable to reel in the one-handed interception. Jacksonville would convert a 4th down a few plays later to remain on the field. The Brian Thomas miscues continued on 3rd and 13, which kept the Jaguars out of field goal range. It was another scoreless first quarter by the defense. That was the 4th game in a row. It was also the first time this season the Jaguars hadn't scored in the first quarter. Tight end Jake Tonges left with a shoulder injury after the first drive and headed to the locker room. He came back and was on the field for the team's second drive. If McCaffrey was the focal point of the first drive, the second one belonged to Ricky Pearsall, who saw targets on 2 of the first 3 plays of the drive, including 1 reception for a first down. That drive did not last long after Luke Farrell, a former Jaguar, fumbled heading into Jacksonville territory. Advertisement. The Jaguars' offense took advantage before you could blink an eye as Travis Etienne raced down the sideline 48 yards after taking advantage of some shoddy tackling to give Jacksonville a 7-3 lead. After a one-handed catch by Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy's high pass over the middle went off Christian McCaffrey's hands for the Niners' second turnover in 5 plays. That was another scoring opportunity wasted by a turnover. Mikael Williams and Bryce Huff drew holding penalties, backing up Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. A mistake by the refs cost the 49ers the ball and potential field position. Kyle Shanahan wanted to decline the second holding penalty to make it 3rd and 12. The referee accepted the penalty, making it 3rd and 17. Shanahan called a timeout to discuss what happened. He was argumentative and upset, thinking he had declined the previous penalty. Travis Hunter looked to have a highlight catch on 3rd down to give the Jaguars a first down, costing the 49ers a second timeout. So, they lost a timeout, a challenge, the ball, and field position after that sequence. Advertisement. The defense had multiple chances to get off the field, but Lawrence converted each 3rd down they faced. Jacksonville found the end zone after a 14-play, 89-yard drive that took 8 minutes off the clock to take a 14-3 lead. Brock Purdy was off on a 3rd down target to Jake Tonges. So, after an 8-minute drive, the defense got a minute and 35 seconds rest after a 3-and-out by the 49ers offense. But Saleh's group rose to the occasion and got a stop. On the punt, Sky Moore was interfered with, giving San Francisco the ball at the 31-yard line. A nifty hook and ladder call followed by a Jawan Jennings first down reception gave the offense a goal-and-goal situation. Purdy threw low to Jennings, and the offense settled for another field goal. Jacksonville had a long kickoff. D. Winters followed that up with a face mask. A Trevor Lawrence blunder saved the Niners from having to face 2 end zone plays. The Jaguars answered with a field goal to make the score 17-6 at the half. Advertisement. Mikael Williams and Jordan Elliott combined for a stop on 3rd and 2 to begin the 3rd quarter to force a 3-and-out. Could the offense answer with a score? Purdy hit Tonges for a gain of 25 on the first play to put San Francisco into Jacksonville's territory. On 3rd down, Purdy connected with Jennings for a 14-yard gain to move the chains. Christian McCaffrey caught a shovel pass. Jawan Jennings took a big hit on the 2-point conversion, but held on. Those scores made it 17-6. The 49ers had an opportunity to get off the field once more, but Upton Stout was flagged for defensive pass interference on a ticky-tack call. That was a game-changing call. The defense ended up getting a stop, but they would not get optimal field position. Instead, Purdy's pass was tipped and intercepted, giving Jacksonville another short field. Purdy's second interception meant he would be the first 49ers quarterback with 3 straight games of multiple interceptions since J.T. O'Sullivan did in 2008. Advertisement. Fred Warner broke the franchise record for forced fumbles on the ensuing drive. His 17th is one more than Patrick Willis's. It came on third down, but the Niners were unable to recover it. The field goal made it 20-14. Ricky Pearsall was questionable to return after landing on his knee. He remained on the sideline. Jennings toughed out a shoulder injury. The offense had an opportunity for a big play, but Kendrick Bourne's drop on third down killed any momentum the Niners had gained. Then, the special teams allowing a punt return for a touchdown felt like a backbreaker. That made it 26-14. That was the score heading into the fourth quarter after Demarcus Robinson's 20-yard catch put the Niners in Jaguars territory. Shanahan elected to go for it on fourth down. The offensive line gave Purdy plenty of time to scan the field. However, Purdy airmailed a throw over the middle to a wide-open Robinson. Advertisement. The defense forced a 3-and-out, which only took 2:17 off the clock. After riding the stationary bike for the previous 2 series, Pearsall was back on the next series, but only for a play. Purdy found McCaffrey on 3rd and 1 for a 29-yard gain. He then found Bourne for 17 yards on the following third down. Shanahan dialed up a screen pass to Jake Tonjes at the perfect time to bring the Niners within 5 to make it 26-21. In the spirit of giving, Chase Lucas committed a personal foul on special teams. After picking up a couple of first downs, Jacksonville found itself in field goal range. Penalties put them behind the chains. Jacksonville's kick was wide right, leaving the door open for a victory if the offense scored a touchdown. That dream was short-lived after Eric Armstead's sack fumble. Purdy faced pressure, but also held onto the ball for close to 4 seconds. Good things never happen in the pocket when you do that. Advertisement. Jacksonville converted on 3rd and 5 on the ensuing drive to seal the deal in what was a game full of errors on both sides. There were 17 combined penalties in the game. The 49ers had 4 turnovers. They also had 2 goal-and-go situations that resulted in field goals. The 49ers' defense did enough to compete, but they generated 1 pressure on 32 dropbacks. Trevor Lawrence gave them opportunities to break the interception streak, but the defense was unable to capitalize. It didn't feel like the 49ers deserved to win the game. They made it close, but ultimately couldn't overcome the numerous mistakes they made in every phase of the game.